Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and welcome to our Westchester Weekly Update. Today is Monday, October 28th. We're just about running out of time this month before we hit Halloween, and November follows very quickly with lots of major events in the month of November. I'll be joined in a few minutes by Kent Jenkins, who's our Deputy County Executive, and we're going to hear reports on things that are happening in our Probations Department with our Commissioner Rocco Posey, from our Department of Environmental Facilities with our first Deputy Commissioner Lou Vitrone, from our Consumer Protection Department. The leader of that is Jim Masano. He's a frequent visitor here because we have frequent programs to protect consumers that he's been in charge of. And we have Kate Bialo, who is here with the Furniture Share House, and she'll talk a little bit about her outstanding program, which is a voluntary nonprofit group here in Westchester County. We'll give you an update on the parks, as we usually do, tell you a little bit about what's coming up on the ballot on Election Day. Ken will cover that, and we'll talk about a couple of other things. First off, though, let me begin with a general advisory for all of us. We are facing, at this moment in time, because of the lack of rain, an elevated risk of wildfire spread. We've had terrific weather, San Diego quality weather, day after day of sunshine and nice temperatures, but we have not had a lot of rain and therefore not a lot of water. And there are conditions now that start to lend themselves with wind and low humidity to the potential of fires. So a red flag warning has been issued. Conditions are favorable for fire behavior because of the strong winds and the low humidity, and most importantly, the dry vegetation. The concern is for all of us to be on the alert, to be cautious, and to take the warning seriously. Northwest winds are gusting between 25 to 30 miles per hour in general. The humidity levels are low, between 30% and 40%. Very comfortable, but it also creates a lack of moisture inside the vegetation. And this combination is dangerous. During this period of time, outdoor burning is strongly discouraged. We think that can create increased fire risk. It's important that we properly extinguish or dispose of any potential ignition sources, cigarette butts, campfire remains, and even machinery that could emit sparks. This vigilance is important to prevent accidental fire starts. Avoid using equipment that can do that, and be very careful in all of these different settings. Our Westchester County Department of Emergency Services, headed by Richard Wishney, is going to continue to monitor these conditions throughout the day. We'll keep the public informed of any updates. Our local fire departments all across the county are also very alert to this, and if we do what we're capable of doing, we'll reduce the chances of this becoming a problem. And we pray for a little bit of rain, preferably at night so it doesn't destroy our daytime activities, but a little bit of moisture, a little bit of rain will help us out tremendously. Now, as we approach Halloween, which is coming on October 31st, I believe it's Thursday of this week, we have a program that we do each year that tries to protect young people, and we'll let our Commissioner of the Probation Department, Rocco Posey, talk about the county's longstanding program to keep sex offenders off the streets during Halloween. Commissioner Rocco Posey. Rocco, thanks for being here with us. Appreciate it.
Well, this year we'll be conducting our 18th annual Antisexual Victim Impact Program, which is designed to keep sex offenders that we have under supervision off the street. The Probation Department has a dedicated unit to supervise sexual offenders who are placed on probation by the courts. And we currently have 140 offenders who reside in Westchester County who are under supervision right now. Approximately 120 registered and non-registered sex offenders will be required to attend an educational program at the Westchester County Courthouse, which is located on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And they will be at the courthouse from 5:30 p.m. Until 10 p.m. This program, is designed to educate offenders. It is an educational program, and we try to raise the awareness of these individuals about the impact that their actions have had, on the people that they have victimized. While the program is educational in nature, it also enhances community safety for young children and teens who are out and about enjoying Halloween, and they should be able to enjoy Halloween feeling safe in their communities. While the program is in progress, our probation officers will be in the community actively tracking down offenders who fail to attend the event. We do have some people who have been given and given the okay, to miss the sessions because we know where they're going to be and what they're doing. But for those who decide not to show up on their own, we will have probation officers out there, trying to find out what's going on, and we will take them, into custody if we have to. To ensure community safety, offenders will not be allowed to use public transportation after the event. Probation officers will provide, transportation home to any offender who needs it. So we don't want them on public transportation either. Just to talk a little bit, very quickly about the success of this unit, the sex offender program has been in existence for over 30 years. It has been it has been a national model since it was created, and it continues to provide intensive supervision and treatment to convicted sex offenders, while providing services to those who have been victimized. County Executive, I would like to tell you that, last year we only had 2 relapses out of the 140 people that we supervised. So that's less than a 1% recidivism rate for a very volatile population. So with that, thank you for the opportunity to be here, boss.
Rocco, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Rocco Posey, Commissioner of Probation. And this program, which has been in effect for a number of years, prior administrations were able to establish it and continue it, shows our looking ahead and try to anticipate problems that could occur. And by having those sex offenders at a standard meeting that they must attend, we try to lessen any possibility that the trick-or-treaters might run into an awkward situation or a dangerous situation. So thank you to Rocco Posey for his leadership on that area. Next up, I want to announce tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I will be having a press conference where we're going to introduce legislation that will name the Westchester County Archives and Records Center in honor of Andrew J. Spano. This is part of an ongoing effort that I've made to try to identify some of those people who've contributed to Westchester's past history. We did so just a month and a half ago when we submitted legislation to the Board of Legislators to name what we had previously called the North and the South County Trailway along the western side of the county in honor of former County Executive Andrew P. O'Rourke, the O'Rourke Trailway. And in this case, we're looking to honor former County Executive Andy Spano for his work. He served 3 terms as Westchester County Clerk and had responsibility for the archives and helped to modernize it dramatically during those years of his county clerk responsibilities, and then, of course, reinforcing that during his years as a county executive. He was county clerk for 3 terms and then served from 1997, 1998, after the 97 elections, for 3 terms as county executive. He has many programs that he can be rightfully proud of, and as one of his successors, and I said the same thing, we were talking about Andy O'Rourke before that. I had the opportunity to work with them earlier in my career as a legislator, and I have a much better understanding as a county executive myself how much work went into the initiatives that Andy Spano was able to achieve, and we're happy that Andy is still with us and will be present tomorrow for the dedication. There'll be members of his official administration family. They'll be there, as well as his personal family, and we look forward to this. What we intend to do is submit legislation to the Board of Legislators. They will hold their deliberations. It is within their authority to pass that legislation. They'll go through the normal review process. But I think it's important to note that many times we don't pay proper homage to our history. We not only put the legislation in to rename the Trailway for Andy O'Rourke, but we also rededicated this office building, which is named after Edwin McCallion, on the 50th anniversary of his completion of service as county executive. And he was a great figure in the Armenian American community here in Westchester County as a former mayor of White Plains. We have previously named some of our major conference rooms here in the executive branch on behalf of some of our earlier county executives, William Blakely, Herb Gerlach, James Hopkins. Many of these people are lost to common knowledge. People who've even lived in Westchester County for 20 or 30 years would not know who may have served in years before. But this cohort of leaders were the people that were able to take a grant of land and turn it into Westchester Community College. We're able to take a military airport and turn it into a commercial airport that we currently have operating in this county. we're able to launch new initiatives in a host of different areas that we take for granted now. The consolidation of the bus system, the merging of what was a Parkway police function and a sheriff function. All of these things happened in years past, and we take them for granted because this is the Westchester that we live in today, and perhaps we moved into even 20 or 30 years ago, that we don't know what went into that. So as a student of history and as a person who appreciates the achievements of prior administration, tomorrow we will give that respect to Andy Spano for his service as a county clerk and as a county executive. It will be televised, so you can see it on this format, and we hope that it'll be a jovial moment, a moment in which we can remember the past fondly. Next up, I want to invite our first Deputy Commissioner of the Westchester County Department of Environmental Facilities, Lou Vitrone, to join us here. He's going to discuss one of the most popular programs that we have, which is the Household Recycling Day program. We often say that probably the one department of county government that everybody knows and appreciates is our Parks and Recreation, Conservation Department, because you go to our parks. Most of the rest of the departments don't always convey jovial times. If you're being pulled over on the hutch for speeding, or if you commit a crime worthy of incarceration. But in this case, the Department of Environmental Facilities, which operates primarily out of the line of public site, making sure that we have public safety in both the way we move sewage and waste products, has something that has a public face to it, and it's quite popular. So Lou, tell us about the programs.
Thank you. Thank you, County Executive Latimer, Deputy County Executive Jenkins. As County Executive said, I'm here to talk about two upcoming events we have. The Department of Environmental Facilities will be hosting two Household Recycling Day events the next two Saturdays. That's Saturday, November 2nd at Rye Playland in Rye, obviously, and on Saturday, November 9th at the Westchester Community College in Valhalla. Both of those events will be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it gives our residents the opportunity to bring and deliver to us virtually all those hard to get rid of waste, virtually anything that's not accepted curbside by your sanitation department, you can bring to us at one of these two upcoming events. That includes pesticides, fertilizers, household cleaning supplies, other household chemicals, textiles for recycling, electronic waste, appliances, mercury-containing devices, tires. I'm sure I'm missing some items. Medications, unused or expired medications we take, and we also offer shredding services. So if you want to bring documents you have in the house, you're worried about identity theft, you want them destroyed, we'll also take care of those items. So both of those events are open to all of our residents without an appointment. For more information on either of those two Household Recycling Day events, you can visit www.westchestergov.com/recycling, or you can call our recycling helpline at 914-813-5425. And as the county executive said, these events are incredibly popular. And there are some wait times sometimes, depending on what time you get there. There may be a little bit of a line. So if you want to avoid the line or you just can't make it to either of those events, no need to worry. You can always make an appointment to come to our Household Material Recovery Facility, HMRF. It's also in Valhalla on 15 Woods Road. We're open from Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you make an appointment to visit the HMRF by visiting environment.westchestergov.com, or again, calling the recycling helpline at 914-813-5425. Thank you. Thanks, County Executive.
Thank you, Lou. Lou Vitrone, our first Deputy Commissioner, Department of Environmental Facilities. Please extend our appreciation to Commissioner Vinnie Kapicki for these programs. So for the next two Saturdays, you have them in two different parts of the counties. Please be a part of it. It's a great way for you to clean out your attic, clean out your basement, clean out your garage, get rid of things that you want to dispose of, and dispose of them properly. So we covered in sequence Halloween, which is coming up a little later this week, and then beginning this Saturday and the following Saturday, the household recycling programs. Next up, Ken Jenkins is going to cover what comes after that, which on November 5th is Election Day and the period of time that's begun of early voting between now and Election Day. Deputy County Executive, Ken Jenkins.
Thanks, George. And we are right now in the middle. Today is the third day of early voting. In New York State, we have 10 days of early voting, goes from the Saturday, October 26th, right through November 3rd, Sunday, November 3rd. Those days where you can go to any Westchester registered voter can go to any one of the 25 locations here in Westchester County to be able to let them know your address, you give them your name, and you'll be able to move forward with getting the proper ballot for your community. Certainly, we can reminded people to make sure to flip the ballot over, look at the ballot initiatives, and certainly taking your time to do the education and find out all about the propositions that are on the back of the ballot. In certain communities, in 3 of our local communities, there is a local ballot initiative as well. So we have a statewide, a countywide, and then individual ballot initiatives there. So early voting, people were talking about over the weekend. There's been a tremendous turnout here in Westchester County. Over 22,000 people voted on Saturday, 22,000 people on Sunday. Just for a reference perspective, last year on the first day of early voting, 3,600 people voted. So that is a tremendous amount of people that are going out to do the opportunity, making a plan to vote in each one of those, again, 25 different early voting locations to be able to do that. And you'll be able to see those as well on your time. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday today. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's 8 to 4 p.m., so 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at one of those 25 locations. Tuesday and Thursdays are the late nights, 12 to 8. So on Halloween, on Thursday, it'll be 12 to 8 at those early voting locations. And next Saturday and Sunday, you can vote from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., so 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. And then there's a day off on Monday the 4th, and then from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. on the 5th. That's your opportunity to vote. So whether you took the opportunity to do mail-in ballot and you don't have to mail it in, you actually can take it to one of those early voting locations, or on November 5th to your exact polling place. You should have received a card in the mail that identifies your polling location on November 5th. You have to go to that one to vote in person on November 5th. But during this time, everywhere else, you have that opportunity to vote to be able to do that as well. Understanding at each one of our early voting locations, at all of our polling sites, the local police as well as the county Department of Public Safety are there to ensure that everyone is safe and secure. You don't need an ID in New York State to vote unless it is your very first time voting. The addresses of all those polling locations have been scrolling across the bottom of the screen at citizensparticipation.westchestergov.com, and certainly you'll be able to identify those polling locations, and it also identifies if it's ADA accessible. And with that, we'll turn it back to George.
Don't go too far away. We're doing parks in a second or two. Just a reminder as well, when you vote, whether it's early voting, whether you vote by mail or you vote in person on Election Day, on one side of the ballot you have candidates for public office from the presidency on down. But if you flip the ballot over, you will see referendum items. There is a statewide referendum that you'll see first, the Equal Rights Amendment. The second one you'll see is one that involves the term of offices for legislators, county legislators here in Westchester. Both of those are on all ballots across Westchester County. And then there are local referenda propositions for Dobbs Ferry, for Peekskill, and for Pelham Manor. And as with the propositions, study up on them, go online, look at the pro, look at the con, determine in your own mind what's the best way for you to vote. But don't neglect to remember to turn the ballot over and then also have your vote cast on those propositions as well. Next up, we go from November into late November and December. We talk about how cold it's going to get. We've had a very mild October, as Octobers go, but November and December isn't far away, and heating oil is going to be a necessity for those that heat with oil and whatever other measures they do. So Jim Mazzano, who is doing a fabulous job as our Consumer Protection Director, I guess he's going to hit me up for a pay raise now that I've complimented him in public. But he's been a long-time excellent public service, and he's a frequent guest here because he always has things that are valuable for the individual consumer. So, Jim, come up and talk to us a little bit about some of the work ahead on home heating oil delivery.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. Hello, Mr. Deputy County Executive. The Westchester County Consumer Protection Department does a lot of inspections. It's one thing we do all day long is inspect things. We inspect 300 home heating oil trucks every year to protect consumers. That's why we do it. We basically have a facility in Valhalla where the trucks pull up and they get a full inspection. We set up like a typical home delivery so that our inspectors take a look at the truck if they were doing a home delivery. Bottom line is, like with the gas stations, we want to make sure when someone pays for a gallon of fuel, they actually get a gallon of fuel. So we check, make sure that the home heating oil truck is actually working and is accurate. We make sure that the delivery tickets are done properly, the security seals are intact. We make sure there's no tampering or fraud that could impact the consumers and rip them off. So our inspectors do a very thorough inspection of 300 home heating oil trucks every year. And by the way, we have state-of-the-art equipment now, thanks to the county executive and the county board of legislators who approved us upgrading our equipment that, when we showed up, George, 7 years ago, was old and leaking and in bad shape. So one of the reasons why this is so successful is that this county is committed to our office to make sure our inspectors have the best equipment. Just to point out, sometimes when we do these inspections, it rises to the level of a crime. We've actually caught trucks come in where they had jerry-rigged the truck to rip off consumers. We called the county police, got them involved, and people got arrested. So this is serious business. We're trying to protect consumers, but some of these trucks could be crossing over to crime. Lastly, to homeowners, when someone shows up at your house, make sure you check the passenger side window so that they have the sticker from our department that they got their inspection. I think that's very important. All right, so now that I've introduced our 300 home heating oil inspections every year, we have a video to show you of how we do the inspections. So I know George and Ken will get this reference. Like the great Warner Wolf, let's go to the videotape.
At this facility, we test the meters on home heating oil delivery trucks. We want to make sure that consumers and customers are getting the amount of fuel oil that they're paying for. When a truck arrives, we check the truck for all the appropriate lettering and markings identifying the name and location of the company. We hook up the truck, connect it to our testing tanks, and then pump 300 gallons off of the truck into our prover, make sure that the meters are accurate, and then return the fuel back to the truck.
Westchester County has the finest equipment to test home heating oil trucks in the country. Our county has committed to our Weights and Measures Department and committed to make sure this equipment right here is protecting consumers every year.
Typically, there's no oversight for the transaction. The truck just pulls up, does its business, conducts its delivery, and leaves a ticket, and you're taking the information on that ticket as fact. This is a typical ticket for a home heating oil delivery. It should have the beginning meter reading mechanically stamped, so you know that the delivery started at 0, and then it's also stamped with the quantity for the end of the delivery.
We check every truck every year. That's 300 trucks every year in this county get inspected to make sure that they're properly delivering the heating oil to homeowners and they're not ripping them off.
There's various ways you can conduct fraud through tampering with the meter itself, through the calibration of the meter. We have had people arrested here at the test facility when confirmed and intentional fraud has been found during our routine inspections. You can tell if the truck has been inspected. We affix our vinyl inspection sticker, typically on the passenger side of the cab.
Look, what we always say is we want to make sure that when a home heating oil truck shows up at somebody's house, when they pump oil into the tanks, that people get what they pay for. They say they got a gallon, they really got a gallon. And this top-level equipment makes sure that when we inspect these trucks, their pumps are accurate, and that when they're delivering to homeowners, those deliveries are accurate every time.
We want to thank Consumer Protection Director Jim Mazzano and his entire team, the folks that are going out inspecting and making sure that you get that gallon of oil that you are supposed to get. And certainly, whenever there's concerns and complaints, you can reach out to the Department of Consumer Protection, where Jim Mazzano and the team make sure to follow up on all those concerns. This week, as promised, coming up in parks. Starting tomorrow on the 29th, we're going to continue our Park and Read program at Tibbetts Park. That's going to be from 11 to 11:45. Children ages 3 to 6 can discover the joy of reading in picturesque Tibbetts Brook Park with our captivating Read Aloud program. That happens near the small playground above the pool. And in case of inclement weather, it's in the catering hall that's right upstairs, right in that same area. On Thursday, on Halloween, Hilltop Hanover Farm and Environmental Center in Yorktown, you're going to have the opportunity to participate in Farm Friends. Again, ages 3 to 6, with their parent or guardian, will get the opportunity to engage in an educational and enriching activity using the farm and landscape around us. Activities will focus on the farm and forest exploration and may include guided walks, crafts, cooking, and more. Come prepared with weather-appropriate clothing. This one actually has a fee of $12, and it also happens on November 14th, and then a month later again on December 12th, and you'll be able to see that again on the Hilltop Hanover Farm and Environmental Center the website on westchestergov.com under the Parks Department. On Friday, November 1st, Tuesdays and Fridays, as everyone knows, is Mall Walking at the Westchester. So Westchester and White Plains, the Mall Walk happens from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So Tuesdays and Fridays, you could go at your own pace, or you get motivated by joining that dedicated and inspiring group of individuals who expanded this program into a small community. Small but mighty community, 8 to 10 a.m. at the Westchester for Mall Walk. Saturday at the Lasden Park and Arboretum up in Katona. We have the Lasden Green Squad, which happens again from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's going to happen every Saturday throughout November. You can get some more details and register at lasdenpark.org and find out more information about the Lasden Green Squad activities, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Saturday through November. Sunday, November 3rd, we're going to continue up at the Lasden Park and Arboretum for Yoga in the Gardens. So it's 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. It's a gentle discovery of the benefits of yoga practice. There's a fee for that starting from $25 to $180, depending on how many sessions you take. And again, it happens November 3rd, 10th, 17th, and the 24th. And finally, at the Croton Park Nature Center up in Croton Park, the Archaeology speaks 1 to 3. Archaeology speaks from 1 to 3 p.m., where you'll be able to enjoy programs and discussions about new discoveries in ancient history, presented by the Lower Hudson chapter of the State Archaeology Society, and that is free. So you can get a call to do that, 914-862-5297, and certainly you can sign up for the Park e-newsletter, which makes sure that you can find out about all of these opportunities, plus some discount opportunities as well. And with that, back to you, George.
Thank you, Ken. We're coming down the home stretch here. We just want to mention as well that, and we'll touch on this next week, on Friday, November 8th, we will have our Veterans Day ceremony at the Lasden Park at our Veterans Hall of Fame. We'll talk a little bit more about that. All of the municipalities will celebrate Veterans Day on the traditional Monday, November 11th, the 11th hour of the 11th month at the 11th day. But put a note on your calendar. We'll do ours the Friday before that so it doesn't conflict with the local municipal services, which are so important in each of our hometowns. Next up, we have a guest who's been a friend of mine for a long, long time. Kate Bialo has been an activist in the Larchmont community, dating back to days when she was the leader in the Junior League of Westchester on the Sound, and many organizations in and around that Sound Shore area that we both call home. And she comes from a family of activists. Her husband served as a village trustee and a mayor of the village of Larchmont. But in her own right, she has created something over an extended period of time that's the classic example of find a need and fill it. And she has done so brilliantly for the better part of 2 decades. Kate is head of Furniture Share House, and I want her to share some of the news of the Share House. Kate, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks.
Thank you for having me. Again, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about Furniture Share House today. We were sorry that you were not able to attend our recent milestone celebration, but Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins was there, and he made some very kind remarks, and we are very grateful for that. But your knowledge and support of Furniture Share House goes way back to our earliest years, and I'm proud to be here to be able to update you on what we have achieved since 2007. This year is our 18th year of operations, and in this year we achieved 3 amazing milestones. 18,000 people served, 100,000 items of free furniture distributed, and that furniture was worth $6 million at thrift shop value. This year, we've also reached a record number of member agencies, 51, all Westchester County social service agencies that you know well, who refer their clients to us to help them fill their empty apartments. These clients include people moving out of homeless shelters, escaping domestic violence, struggling with mental or physical disabilities, or recovering from personal or natural disasters. We continue to serve our clients every Wednesday and Thursday mornings at our warehouse located at the Westchester County Airport. Clients come by appointment, and with the help of one of our amazing volunteer personal shoppers, they were able to select beds, sofa, armchairs, coffee table and lamp table, dressers, nightstands, desks, lamps, a mirror, a rug, as well as artwork and other items from our household bonus section that help them transform their empty apartments into comfortable and cozy homes. We furnish 8 to 12 families a week in just those 4 hours, and in 2023, we furnished 420 households. And speaking of the county airport, we have been given incredible support and assistance by airport management and staff. They are so responsive and truly understand our mission and what we are accomplishing year after year, and we are so appreciative. Yet, in spite of our efforts to end furniture poverty in Westchester County, we find that the demand for our services is only increasing. We have a waiting list of several weeks now to obtain an appointment, and we are scrambling to collect enough furniture to serve all of these clients. The best example I have of how vital our service is to Westchester County and its neediest residents is a new affordable housing apartment that just opened in New Rochelle, High Garden Tower. This beautiful new building opened early this year with 77 units set aside for formerly homeless households. A dozen of our member agencies have been requesting services for their clients, and the current tally, we have furnished 40 apartments, empty apartments in this building since April of this year. To me, this is the best possible validation of the crucial role that Furniture Share House plays in the continuum of services offered to the county's neediest residents. Yes, affordable housing is critical, but what happens once a family is fortunate enough to obtain housing? The joy of obtaining secure housing is diminished when they find they are living in an empty apartment, unable to afford even the most basic furniture, a bed to sleep on, a table to eat at, a dresser to store their belongings, and a sofa to sit on at the end of the day. This is where Furniture Share House comes in. We are the only organization that takes furniture donations from the public and provides it for free directly to those who need it most. So in closing, I would just like to ask members of the public who are interested in learning more about Furniture Share House or to donate furniture to please visit our website at furnituresharehouse.org. And once again, we want to thank you and the County of Westchester for your strong support over the last 18 years. And we look forward to your continued support as we keep working hard to furnish the empty apartments of Westchester families in need. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kate Bialo. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to deliver this. This is a year after year, day after day type of work. You've been deeply committed to it, and we are committed to be with you as a partner in these things. And we thank you for your time. We thank you, too, for your time watching. Hopefully you found some of this information of help. We went through a host of different dates coming up, Halloween, the DEF household recycling days that are coming, Election Day is coming, Veterans Day is coming, and the need for home heating oil is coming. So all of those things hopefully will be helpful. We've mentioned as well the fact that over the course of the next few weeks, we will get to the point of a county budget. We expect to release a budget sometime during the week next week, which is the operating budget. We delivered the capital budget just about a month ago, and at that point, the Board of Legislators will begin public hearings and discussions about the budget, which will be in place before we start calendar year, fiscal year 2025 on January 1st. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. And then, Thanksgiving comes up and the Christmas holiday season, so there's much to look forward to. The Diwali celebration and the Albanian Heritage Festival are also coming up as well. So there's plenty to do here in Westchester, plenty of things we're working on. If you have any questions for us, feel free to reach out to us. Our executive branch number, 995-2900. You can reach any of us here through that. The Board of Legislators, 995-2800. And we'll be back in touch with you in a week's time to give you an update of what's happening at that point in time. And we'll probably do a few events in the meantime. We have a piece of legislation we're signing into law passed by the Board of Legislators and 2 members of the board that have worked on a bipartisan basis to accomplish it. So we'll communicate as information is available. Thanks very much for watching. I'm George Latimer, County Executive. Have a great day.